Bumpy. So if you just watched my last video, which is welcome back to my channel, you would have heard me mention that there's something that I'm gonna do, which is basically going to be a playlist on my channel for persons studying medicine. If you're in year 3 or above, it would be very beneficial to you. And what it's gonna be is a day-to-day recall of what happens at school. So each day might not be as I don't know what it's gonna be like, because I might have the same topics from the day before, or if I find something that's really interesting, like a particular case. I mean, I won't be sharing people's information, but just generally just talking about the actual disease process as best as I can. I mean, I'm not gonna teach. I'm definitely not gonna teach, but I think that if I share what I experience every day, you won't feel so weird going into it. Like, you kind of know what to expect, and that's something that I wanted. So I feel like that's the kind of content I want to create, where it surrounds medical school. All right, so today was my first day of anything really, because we haven't been to school in about a year, and today was my first day at the hospital. Mr. First day, I'm not talk like, oh yeah, first day, talking first day, first everything, first time in the white coat, first time on the ward, first time with the consultant, first time walking up and down for the whole day, first everything. And I'm just like, oh. So I'm just gonna walk you through what my day was like from beginning to end as best as I can remember, and kind of give you an idea of everything that I encountered, what my consultants expected me to know, what I didn't know, what I didn't know that I didn't know. Yeah, if you know Barry G, you know the thing that Barry G says. Yeah, I'm gonna
brainstorm for those who don't know.
So that's basically what happened. So I'm doing surgery at Mapen Hospital, and what happens is a bus leaves UE at 7 a.m. in the mornings to take you to Mapen Hospital, and then you get there for 8:30, because we arrived at 8:30 this morning, and then the bus comes and picks you up at 2. So that's I woke up at 5:30. At 6:30 I still was not ready. The bus almost left me, but luckily the bus did not leave until 7, even though it leaves from Medsci at 6:30. 6:30 there, about 6:45 it leaves the health center, however, at 7 o'clock. And if you're not there at 7 o'clock, the bus is gonna leave you. Alright, so after your 1 hour and 30-minute bus ride, if you don't plan to sleep on the bus, please do not plan on sleeping on the bus. The bus ride is not smooth. It's not a Nutford Express. It's like an ugly, ruggedy coaster bus. I'll take a picture of the bus in one of my next videos on this topic, but so yeah. So we got there around 8:30, and then when we got there, we waited for the consultant for a little bit. We kind of got lost-ish, but we're just walking. We asked for directions from like the securities and stuff, and then we met the consultant in this open garden space area, and he took us to the ward, and then we basically went through ward rounds. So ward rounds is where the residents, the interns, the consultants, and the medical students, they basically go from bed to bed and talk about each patient and discuss the management and what happened over the weekend or what happened last night, if anything changed, the results of like tests, say they requested blood tests or lab tests or I don't know. I really don't know. Whatever happens, they just talk about general events concerning that particular patient. And usually there's one person presenting. I'm not sure if it will always be an intern or if it will always be a resident. It may be different. I'll let you guys know as it goes along. But then there's that one person who's presenting the history, and they kind of summarize it, and then they go through what has happened with that patient, how long that patient has been here for, and so on. There were about 7 patients on the ward this morning, and we're on male surgical, by the way, so it was just male patients, no female. There is a female surgical ward, but we didn't really do female surgical ward rounds. It was just male surgical ward rounds. So since we got there, I kind of had a little, where is it? So I have this little notepad that I wrote down stuff on. Let me try and find it. So yeah, so this is where, let's see. So these are just like little scribbles of what they said and stuff that I was trying to remember. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you about all the topics that we came across today, and if I can remember how they're related to the patients. All right. So first thing we saw was compartment syndrome. There was a young man who had gotten cut across his wrist hair. We saw peripheral arterial disease, critical limb ischemia. We got asked about examinations, all examinations. So neuro exam, abdominal exam, you name it, you have to know them. They asked about this acronym called SOAP. I'm not really sure what it means just yet, but when I do find it out, I'll put it right here. Yeah. And then we saw burns. There were a number of burn patients, lots of patients with burns on the ward, male and female ward actually. We saw about a total of about 3 or 4 persons with burns. So you have to know burns, you have to know rule of nines, you have to know your classifications of burns and everything that come with burns, because you're gonna see it on the ward. We saw a young man who had hematuria, that's blood in the urine. I think it was the same patient. They were requiring sickle cell, so you have to know sickle cell. There's another patient who they assumed had a lower respiratory tract infection. You also have to know that. There was also a patient with a duodenal ulcer. What was his problem again? I think he had the surgery in the past, but he was having complaints of GI. I don't remember, but read about that. Anemia, surprisingly, anemia. This is another thing called autonomous bladder. That's when the bladder does what it wants to do. You need to find out what is a condom catheter and the other types of catheters. When we got onto female surgical ward now, which was in the afternoon, we met with another doctor there who had asked us about the blood collection tubes or vials, the ones with the like red top, green top, purple top. You need to know why you use each one, what's in each tube, if there's anything in there, and what would you send those tubes for. So if you collect blood in a red top tube, why were you sending it? Purple top tube, why? Blue top tube, why? Gray top tube, why? You just need to know why for everything. We also saw colon cancer, and we also needed to find out about, I don't remember, but that's about 16 topics there that the consultants and the residents would have said to us, you guys need to know this, you guys need to go home and read this. And I'm serious, it's literally there. So that's basically, on the first day I encountered at least 16 different disease processes, or 16 different topics that I needed to understand, and they're expecting you to read it tonight, and they're gonna ask you tomorrow, and you're gonna have to answer. So that's about what they asked us. Oh yes, I attempted to do an IV access, however the patient was very how do I put this? Basically, when she realized that I was a medical student, she just started to froth up. Like, she started crying and screaming, and was like, but I mean, I mean, eventually the consultant did it herself. I mean, I was doing a good job, but she was just, I mean, she was out of it. And yes, also patients will be hesitant to have you practice on them because they think that you're practicing and not training. So just don't feel no way, because I felt kind of sad afterwards, because I was just like, oh my god, she's screaming out and I haven't done anything to her. I thought I was hurting her. And yes, you just have to just understand that some patients will behave that way when they encounter medical students. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope to be able to go more into detail when I tell you about the topics that I encounter. So maybe tomorrow, when I hope to do this every day. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep up with the everyday thing, but as often as I get new topics. So when I encounter something new, I'll just make another video. I hope to be able to know these stuff. I hope to be able to know this stuff in a way that when I list the topic, I can actually tell what it is. I'm actually gonna go and read about these, and then I'm gonna just maybe just pop a quick definition on screen for the topics that I mentioned, like after this, or maybe a different video on each one. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna tell you some do's and don'ts for the surgery rotation, particularly if you're going May pen. However, it should work for just about any rotation, basically. Alright, so first things first,